Chris, in one of our other podcasts, you mentioned, kind of picking the right SEO company, picking a good SEO company, and then looking for whether they have worked in your niche or whether they have done somewhat similar work to what you're looking for. So I think my major question here, and how can we tell people, I guess, overall, how to pick a good SEO company?
It's a good question and probably a long-winded answer, but we will start with the fact that there's a lot, the majority, right? That's over 50%. The majority of SEO companies out there are probably not very good. And there's probably other industries like us that you can say that about, but it's definitely probably one of the highest industries where there's no barrier to entry. Anyone can say they do it. But then there's a huge gap between the companies that actually put the time in and do all the things that are needed and the research and the trial and error, or the companies that just do what everybody else is doing and at the lowest, cheapest possible price point so that they can make as much money as possible. And there's a lot of that in this industry. So how do you navigate all these bad companies and to find those select good ones? First and foremost, make sure, in my book, make sure they're big enough, because obviously if they're just starting out or they haven't been doing it for very long, there's not going to be much of a track record. If you've been doing this for 10 years, you're not going to be unsuccessful in last 10 years, right? So make sure that they've been in business for a while, make sure that they have a track record, ask for, everyone's got good results. And, even if you've been doing this for a couple of years, you're probably going to have some results that you can reference, but see if there's a quantity of results and not just results in one specific area. Do we have results across multiple different competitive markets? Because that's really the hallmark of a good SEO company. Can we get results no matter what the market is? Because you're going to cut your teeth every time you take on a new market. And every market's different, every niche is different. SEO is still the same. But if you can win in every one of those, then that's a good indication. Check for references. Don't be afraid to check that. What I would say though is stay away from the hype. If a company comes to you and they're not transparent about that, and everybody says they're transparent, but they're really not. But what I mean by transparent is, do they show you their methods? Or do they say it's proprietary? Do they show you, ask to see a report? What does your reporting look like? And if they can't show you a very detailed report, and a lot of times it's a simple Excel spreadsheet, and there's nothing wrong with Excel, but you've got a lot of data that you want to review. And Excel probably may not be the best avenue for that. Or most people can't handle an Excel spreadsheet with a lot of data on it. So it's not very user-friendly. So make sure that you understand what they're doing. Make sure they have good reports that you can actually understand. Make sure that, what are their deliverables? They're saying they're working on SEO, but what are they doing? What does that mean? Are they producing content? Are they link building? Are they doing a content strategy? Are they doing an inventory of your content to understand what content needs to be made? Do you start off with a keyword report? Ask for all of these things. Any company that's doing these things right can give you a dummy version of a report that, the client information can be whited out. They can show you all this stuff. So you should be able to understand what it's like to work with these companies before you start working for them. And if they get into, well, we can't show you that because it's proprietary, or we can't show you that because it's got client information on it, stay away from that. Any company can whitewash a report to show you what it looks like. We've got them. You should ask for those types of things before you do business with that company. So it's not an easy selection process. And then I'd say this: once you find a good company, and in other words, you don't have any complaints and you feel like they're doing a good job, but then you get this sales rep that comes out here's another company and they're saying something you've never heard of before, and they're you're like, oh, it's shiny, let's go check it out. There's so many bad companies in this field. If you get a good one, stay with them, because this is a time value proposition with SEO. Now PPC, it's more advertising, a good 3 months, and you know what you got. But SEO takes so much longer. You're going to have a lot higher chance of selecting a bad SEO company than a good one. So just know that. So once you find a good one, stick with them.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's best to know that there are a lot of bad SEO companies out there with good salesmen. Something to remember.
Perfectly said. Coming from a sales rep.